many of these vaccination centres are going to be, and how are they going to work?
We're setting up 37 vaccination centres around the country, so at least one in each county, and then several counties will have 2 or more. That's in addition to 3 GP hubs which are being set up as well in Cork, in Galway and in Dublin. And really the point of the mass vaccination centres and putting them in place now is to be ready for when we scale up. So what people will see in their county, they'll see a mass vaccination centre, and then when the supplies start coming into the country to the point that we need to scale up and we need to get them out, that's when we'll be using them. So step 1 is get them in place, and then at the same time now we're putting in place the workforce, both the vaccinators, the administrators and the managers needed to run them.
I think you were saying, Insider, at some point in time, am I correct, you could see 250,000 people being vaccinated a week. Is that correct?
The advance purchase agreements that we have in place, if those vaccines are authorised and if the supplies come in as contracted, then we would see several million doses of different vaccines arriving in for the second quarter and indeed for the third quarter. In those situations, we're building up a vaccination centre infrastructure that would be capable of administering about 250,000 doses a week.
And then finally from me, and we've heard some unhappiness from some GPs that they can't, over the next 3 weeks when they're vaccinating over the over 85s, use churches which are available to them, or hotels, or community centres, which they say would allow them to do a lot more vaccinations in a very, very safe manner. And older people would be familiar with a church and the part of the church grounds. So you can see that that would be quite a useful process. Is that going to happen?
The HSE took an operational decision in consultation with the Irish Medical Organisation, and my understanding is it's one that the IMO agrees with, that to begin with for the 70s and older, because this is one of the most vulnerable groups of people, that those vaccinations will happen in a clinical setting, which is the GP practices or the GP hubs.
Just some people will always give out online are already saying, oh, that's too far away from me in Mayo, that's too far away from me in Donegal. So what would you say to people who feel their vaccination centre is too far away from them?
We're setting up 37 vaccination centres. That's at least one in every county. Now some people quite rightly are saying, hang on, that's a long way away, or it's a long way from my mum or my dad or somebody to get to. Remember that we're doing vaccinations in these 3 vaccination centres and in GP practices and in pharmacies, quite possibly in dentists as well. So by no means are these 37 centres and the 3 GP hubs the only place where people will be vaccinated. They're just the big centres where we'll be able to vaccinate a lot of people at pace. But you know, whatever town you're in, your local GP, your local pharmacist will be able to administer vaccines as we scale up to the general population. The vast majority of healthcare workers not only have opted to be vaccinated, but actually have been looking forward to and asking to be vaccinated as quickly as possible. The message here is really important, and it's really clear. It's from Europe, it's from our own experts, is we have 3 authorised vaccines. They are all safe and they are all highly effective for the adult population. We don't have mandatory vaccination in Ireland, and there are people around the country who are choosing not to get it, or maybe they're waiting. What we need to do is listen very carefully to people, is respect their concerns, and make sure that there is expert advice available, that they're listened to, and that they can make their own informed decisions. Any GPs who are out and about saying that these vaccines are not safe and that people who shouldn't be getting them, I would take that very, very seriously.
Okay, thank you very much.